We've finally seen James Charles's makeup brand, all the details, what's launching, when and where, and it's coming very soon. So let's talk about it. So a couple of days ago, James Charles posted the full reveal of his new brand, Painted. Also, yuck. Anyway, I watched it, not just that much of it. I ended up watching it all, and I'll tell you my thoughts. So we all know James Charles. Hasn't been at his heyday for quite some time. I think he was talking about how this brand has been in the works for 4 years and how it was going to release before the pandemic. But then what happened was his lab or his manufacturer was upping the prices. So he had to go in search of another manufacturer and get it reformulated. And that process added a few years. And so I don't feel bad for him. I don't really like him as a person, and there's a lot of controversies around him that I don't agree with, but I'm not going to go into that. I do sort of feel bad that he didn't release something at his heyday. Yes, he still has nearly 24 million followers on YouTube, so he's obviously not unpopular, but he was with his affiliate codes, he was making millions of dollars back in his prime, and this brand could have taken off like crazy a few years ago. Now I think it's going to do all right. He's still got some followers, but I don't think it's going to make an impact like it could have. So essentially he's releasing sort of multi-purpose paint products, hence the Painted name. I quite like the inspiration of this. In a little ad that they created a few months ago, they showed these sort of paint, like if you're a painter, you have your oil paints and your acrylic paints in like these tubes. So I like that he's thrown back to sort of seeing makeup as a form of artistry. He's not the first person to do that, but there's a very literal interpretation there, which I quite like. And you can see he's using the products in that ad as being like your face is your canvas. The main products, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can't see the red at the top, but effectively there's a whole rainbow of colors, brown, black, and white. And these are multi-purpose makeup products that you can use as liners. You can use them as eyeshadow bases, as liquid eyeshadows, as blushes, as lip products. They're multi-purpose. Now, you're probably screaming at me saying, Kat, these are not new. I know they're not new. This concept has been around, especially in like stage makeup, for such a long time. MAC have had their Pro Palette paint stick thing for decades. The Makeup Forever Flash Color Case, this has been something that I've been reviewing makeup for I think 12 years, and this was around back then. So, this multi-purpose paint product, a lot of pro brands have them. They might be in pro stores or they might be in pro areas of their website. They're not usually super easily, you don't usually see them on their shelves very easily if you're just like going in as a consumer. It's definitely more of a pro product, but so many brands do them. I don't know what this brand is, but when I was looking them up, I thought that actually was a cool spread of colors, and the big white and the big black, I like it. Like a lot of brands do it. Now, most of them were always in like a palette, but P. Louise made these sort of base, they're usually eyeshadow bases, but again, you can use them wherever, made the tube format a lot more popular. So P. Louise has heaps of them. This is essentially a lot of the nude sort of colors, black, almost white, some colors. There we go. That's a P. Louise sort of color range. P. Louise also collaborated with Mitchell. So Mitchell, who now has his own makeup brand, and Made by Mitchell now has a lot of these palettes. So, I feel like a lot of brands that makeup artists have created are bringing these back to, I guess, their audience or to the masses. So they're sort of coming back around. So that's pretty much the sort of, not history of the product. They're just the ones that sort of came to mind when I was thinking about it. James does claim that his formulation is better than anything he's tried on the market. I'm going to say that I hope they are, Because if you're going to be adding something new to the market, you either want it to be different or better. So I'm hoping for his sake that these are worth the 4 years in development. I have to say I like the colors. It's a beautiful purple. It's a beautiful light blue chosen. Like the tones he's chosen are really, really great. My limitation with this, just from when he was swatching, is that you can't actually create look, you've got almost like a sky blue, and I feel like it limits what you can create with these unless you want to really darken it with black. So I also would have liked to see like a cobalt type blue that can make more of a dark emerald green, a dark forest green, a dark rich purple. I feel like there's missing a more vibrant blue. This sky blue is beautiful, but you could also have created it with a darker blue, mixing it with white. But I think besides that, I think he's created a nice color range. These are going to be $15 each, US dollars. So the price point is all right. I think you can buy the full set and you're essentially getting one free. So I'll find the price, hang on. So the full set comes in a paint can. You also get a sponge, which I'll talk about in a second, and it's $135 with free shipping. He's also releasing the sponge for $10, and it's a bigger sponge than most sponges on the market. So there is a point of difference. So this is it dry compared to a dry beauty blender, and that's it hydrated. So it's a big sponge. You can do large areas at once. You can probably do body makeup with it. So there is a point of difference there. There's also a brush kit. So it is, I think they're $8 each, or you can buy the set for $40. So, you know, you're getting one brush free. So it is launching the 8th of August, so pretty much a week's time. So if you're interested, you can do your research and pick it up. Look, in terms of what I think about this release, I think he's possibly bringing this concept. I think he used to push a lot of P. Louise though, didn't he? So his audience would be familiar with this sort of paint concept. I think he could be bringing this concept to a new generation of makeup users, but I don't think it's really going to take off. I think there's going to be some people that love it. There's going to be some people that want these really vibrant paints that, you know, they can do their lips with and their eyes, and they've been missing a really, really true white eyeshadow base that they can blank out their lids. Like maybe that is something that some people want, but I think in terms of how this is going to be accepted generally, I think it's going to be quite niche. So I'm not tempted by it at all. I do have to say though, when he was swatching these in his video, they look very, very nicely pigmented. So these swatches he was doing on camera, and they're all swatching beautifully. He was saying that the yellow was the hardest to formulate. It looks nice and opaque. I love the purple. I love the blue. I love the green. I even like the pink. So I think he's chosen really nice colors, and it looks like he's worked really hard on the formula, which is great. I feel like when you're going to be putting your name to a brand, especially when you've got a lot of controversy around you and a lot of hype, I feel like there's going to be a lot of integrity and you've got to deliver. So price points seem fine, products seem fine. I can't see this being like the next Fenty, for example. It's not going to take off and be something that everyone talks about. Like, I might be eating my words, but it's all right. I won't be buying them because I don't really like James Charles and I don't want his makeup. But